All right. I see some people still signing on. So we'll come to Samastitihi. We'll bring the big toes together with the heels slightly apart. And I always like to take a moment before we chant the opening mantra just to settle in. So you can close the eyes if you'd like. You can separate the feet a little bit more if that's helpful to feel more grounded. Whatever standing position allows you to feel that rooting down through the feet, so that there's a sense of stability throughout the entire posture. And from that sense of stability, of that moving downward into the earth, feel the opposite, the rising up, the lengthening through the spine, the opening of the heart, and the reaching up through the crown of the head. As you tune into the center line, maybe drawing the chin back and down a little bit. Notice the breath moving in and out through the nostrils. And we'll bring the palms to heart center and we'll do the opening mantra. We'll chant it straight through. You can join me or you just listen. Inhale through the nose. Vande Gurunam Charanaravinде Sandarshita Swatma Sukhavabode Nishreyase Jangalika Yamane Samsara Hala Hala Mohashantiye Abahu Purushakaram Shankachakrasidharinam Sahasra Shirasam Shwetam Pranamami Patanjalim. Exhale, we'll bring the arms onto the side and we'll start with Surya Namaskara A. Inhale, bring the arms over your head, palms touch. Exhale, nice and taking it easy, maybe slowing it down a little bit. Fold forward, inhale into half lift, lengthening the spine. Exhale, step back into a plank position. You can lower the knees and bend the elbows for Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, point the toes. You can keep the pelvis on the floor for this first one if you want. Lifting the heart, cobra pose, keeping the legs strong. Exhale, as you push back into downward facing dog, you can roll through tabletop or just roll through the toes and go straight into the posture. And we'll settle here for about 5 breaths. Settling into the breath. And establishing the breath for the practice, matching the length of the inhales and to the length of the exhales, in and out through the nose. Long, steady breaths. One more. At the bottom of the exhale, bend the knees, drop the tailbone, gaze forward, step or jump to the top of the mat. Inhale into half lift, lengthening. Exhale, fold forward. You can bend the knees if you need to in these forward folds. Inhale, come to stand. Press down through the feet as you reach the arms up. Exhale into Samastitihi. Good. Again, like that. Inhale, arms over your head. Press down, shift into the heels and reach through the pinkies. Exhale, up and over with a long spine, fully exhaling at the bottom. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. You can stay in high. You can stay in the plank with the knees lifted or lowered as you bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Maybe lifting the pelvis, maybe lifting the legs. Exhale into downward facing dog. Good, settling. Good. bringing in the Ujjayi breath. So with a gentle tone in the vocal cords, smoothing out the edges of the breath. Listening to the sound of the breath. And as you breathe in, feel the rib cage expand. On your next exhale, fully exhale, bending the knees, dropping the tailbone, gaze forward at the bottom. Inhale as you step or jump into the half lift position. Exhale, fold forward, fully exhaling. Inhale, come to stand. Press down, shift into the heels, drop the tailbone, and reach through the pinkies. Exhale, float the arms back down to your side. Good. Again like that. Inhale, arms over your head, moving with the breath. Exhale, up and over, long. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Bend the elbows, keep the heart open. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press the tops of the feet down and back into the mat. Exhale into downward facing dog. And stay with the breath. Allowing the posture to move, to shift as the breath moves through the body. Without straining the breath, without forcing the breath to be longer than it should be, according to where you are right now. Just allowing the breath to find its natural full expansion and its natural full contraction. So not forcing or pushing either end of the breath. One more. Fully exhaling, prepare to jump or step forward, step or jump. Inhale into half lift, press through the feet. Exhale, fold forward, draw the torso in. Inhale, come to stand, pressing down. Wrap the shoulder blades as you reach up. Exhale, Samasthiti. To Surya Namaskar B, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale into Utkatasana, chair pose. Exhale, up and over as you fold. Again, you can bend the knees here if you need to. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Slowly bend the elbows. Inhale, upward facing dog. Toes reach back as the heart lifts up. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the left foot 45 degrees. Exhale, right foot forward. Inhale, coming up to Virabhadrasana. Exhale, frame the right foot. Inhale, high plank. Tone the lower belly. Exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. We're moving slowly. Inhale, turn the right foot. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up, strong legs, press through the feet. Exhale, frame the left foot. Inhale, high plank, stabilize the shoulders and the core. Exhale, slowly bend the elbows, finish the exhale. Inhale, lift the heart, press the shoulders down. Exhale, downward facing dog or child's pose. Good. Keep breathing in and out through the nose, smoothing out the edges of the breath. Notice if you're tensing up muscles in the throat, muscles behind the eyes. Let the dristi, let the gaze be soft. Either gazing up along the thighs or up towards the navel. One more breath. Fully exhale. Prepare. Step or jump. Half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, bend the knees into Utkatasana. Exhale, Samasthiti. We'll do it one more time and just a little bit faster, but always feel free to go at your own pace. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, bend the knees. Inhale, Utkatasana. Exhale, folding. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Lower down. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, turn the right foot. Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rise up. Move with the breath. Exhale, bring the hands down. Step back as you inhale. And exhale as you lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, turn the right foot, Exhale, left foot forward. Inhale, rising. Exhale. Inhale. And exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Good, settle in. Spreading the fingers wide and pressing through the base of the pointer, the base of the thumb. And then as you press the hands down, lift the sit bones up and back and spread the shoulder blades. So it feels like you're lifting the armpits away from the floor. One more breath. Relax the neck. Prepare to jump forward. When you're ready, step or jump. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale into the chair pose, Utkatasana. Exhale, Samastiti. Good. Padangusthasana, bring the feet hip width distance. Hands to your hips. Inhale. And exhale. Fold forward, catch the big toes. Inhale, press through the feet. Lengthen the spine. And then exhale, keep those two actions. As you move into the forward folds, keep pressing through the feet. Keep lengthening the spine. And at the end of your forward fold, wherever that limit is for you, you're going to soften the muscles along the spine. But keep rooting through the feet. Feel all the muscles releasing along the spine, all the way through the neck. Maybe you point the elbows out to the side and reach the elbows away from each other. Keep rooting the heels and lifting the sit bones. Smooth, steady breath. One more. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, hands to your hips. Inhale, rising up into Samastitihi. Top of the mat, feet together. Inhale into Parshvakonasana. Step the right foot back. Arms out to the side. Pivot the right foot. Exhale, bend into the right knee. Inhale, reach through the right hand and start to move into the posture. Exhale as you place the right hand on the floor, or maybe right fingertips on the floor, or the forearm on the thigh, reaching the left arm over your head. And you're spinning the left pinkies to point in the direction of the floor so that you get that external rotation in the left shoulder. Good. Feel strong in the legs as you keep bending into the right knee. Move that right knee back a little bit so it's directly over the right ankle. So if you have the hand on the floor, press the right knee back into the right arm. One more breath here. Breathe deeply into the side body. The left side body. Good. Inhale, coming out of it. Pivot the feet. And let's break that into the two parts. Exhale, bend the left knee. Keep the left knee over the left ankle. So it needs to move back a little bit. Inhale, reach that left arm up a little bit and over, like you're passing the left knee. And then exhale, place the left hand down and reach the right arm over your head. You could also bring the forearm to the thigh. Feel the legs rooting into the earth as the left knee is moving back. So it's moving a little bit deeper into the external rotation in the left hip. So start to feel that. Start to feel the femur bone moving in the hip joint. Breathing deeply into the right side body as you feel that line, that length. Fully exhale. Inhale, coming out of it. Let's do B, the twisting. Inhale, pivot, face the back of the mat. And reach the left arm up. As you inhale, you can keep the back knee lifted or down to the floor. And as you exhale, move into the twist. As you drop the tailbone and round the spine, bring the elbow over to the right thigh. You can have the hands in prayer. You can bring the hand to the floor. Takes the twist a little bit deeper. Good. Keep dropping the tailbone and clipping the right hip back and towards the midline. Breathing deeply, maintaining the pace of the breath. Gets a little bit more challenging in the twisting postures. That's okay. One more breath. As you exhale, gaze down. Inhale, coming out of it. Exhale, pivot around, face the front. Let's take another breath here. Inhale, reach the right arm up. Exhale, find that spinal flexion to come into the twist. Good. And then as you move into the twist, you want to keep the heart open, but keep dropping the tailbone. It's like, it can be difficult to feel into that, especially if the twist feels tight. But at first, you're just bringing your awareness there. Deep breaths, maintaining the pace of the breath. Keep bending into the left knee as you clip the left hip back and towards the midline. One more breath, deep breath in. And as you exhale, gaze down. Inhale, open up to the side. Reach the fingers away from each other and the heels towards each other. Exhale into Samasthiti. Inhale, step the right foot back, feet parallel to each other, hands to the hips. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward, hands to the mat. Inhale, lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Maybe the hands walk back. Maybe the hands press down and forward to gently pull the torso through the legs. As you keep the legs strong, keep lifting the kneecaps. Keep rooting the feet into the earth and drawing in just above the pubic bone so you're not pushing the lower belly out. One more breath here. Inhale, look up and lengthen. Exhale, bring your hands to your hips. Inhale, drop the tailbone as you lift the heart to rise up. Exhale at the top. Let's do one more here. Inhale, reach the arms out. Exhale, interlace the fingers behind the back. Inhale. And exhale, fold. If you need a little bit more space in the shoulders, you can grab onto a strap or a towel. And then allow the hands to move away from the hips. Maybe allowing gravity to take over if that's possible. Stay with the breath. Stay with the sense of support and stability through the legs for one more breath. Inhale as you come all the way up to the top slowly so you don't get dizzy. Exhale, release the hands, squeeze the heels, and back into Samasthiti. Good. Parsvottanasana, bring the hands into reverse prayer. So you can either bring the palms together behind the back, or you can bring the fist together behind the back. Step the right foot back, face the back of the mat. Inhale, lift the heart, press through the feet. Exhale, fold forward, keep reaching the heart forward. And as you press through that right foot, feel the right hip clipping back. Squaring the shoulders over the right leg. As you settle in, you can soften the neck. Keep reaching the heart towards the right toes. Good, and press evenly down through both feet. One more breath here. Fully exhale. Rising up on the inhale, pivot around, face the front of the mat, and take another breath in here to press the feet as you lift the heart like a mini back bend. Exhale, reaching forward, finding length as you move into this fold. Keep pressing through both feet, and as you press through the left foot, that left hip clips back. But don't forget about the back foot. And if you feel like the shoulders are collapsing, draw the shoulders back and down. Sometimes a lift of the elbows can help with that. One more breath. Fully exhale. And on your next inhale, start to rise up. Pivot to the side, release the hands. Exhale into Samasthiti. Good. Inhale, let's bring the arms over your head. Palms touch. Exhale, fold forward. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, step or jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, we'll do one more standing posture. Jump the feet into Utkatasana, bend the knees, and reach the arms up for 5 breaths. Keep sinking back and down as you lift up through the heart, up through the pinkies. Keep wrapping the shoulder blades. The palms can be together or apart. Good. 4. Drawing, lifting just above the pubic bone. One more breath. And as you exhale, bring the hands down to the floor, knees to your chest. You can inhale, lift up through Lolasana. Exhale, jump back, or just step back, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated, or you can just sink the knees, cross the ankles, and send the legs through. So into Dandasana, legs straight out in front of you, hands next to your hips. And I love this posture as just sort of a moment after the standing postures to, again, orient the attention inwards. Just another moment to just kind of check in. Maybe even feel the residue from the standing postures. Moment to really focus on balancing the energies of stability through the legs, being strong, through the pelvis, making contact with the earth, through the sit bones. And then balancing that stability with a sense of release and opening and upward and lifting up. So feel that rising through the spine, opening across the heart, without squeezing the back. So don't squeeze the shoulder blades to lift the heart. Lift the heart from that place of stability. You feel that sense of lift start all the way from the pelvis, lifting just above the pubic bone, Uddiyana Bandha. And that energy is moving up towards the heart to keep it bright and open. Good. One more breath here. And as you breathe in, expand the rib cage in all directions. Release that. Paschimottanasana. Inhale, catch the big toes or just keep the fingertips on the floor. Lengthen the spine. Exhale, fold forward. Keep the legs strong. Keep the feet flexed, the feet awake, and the base of the big toe reaching forward. So you're like turning on the inner thighs. Allow the spine to be fluid, shifting micro adjustments as the breath moves in and out. One more breath here. Inhale, Look up and lengthen. As you exhale, release the toes. Let's go straight into Purvottanasana. Rotate the pelvis under so the sit bones reach towards the heels, hands behind the hips. And on your next inhale, you're going to start to lift up. Toes come towards the floor. Pelvis lifts up. Heart lifts up between the shoulder blades. And maybe the head drops back. Keep pressing the hands down and back as the toes reach towards the floor. Drawing in the lower belly. A couple more breaths. Another lift through the pelvis and another lift through the heart. On your next exhale, slowly come down. Good. Let's take a vinyasa. Cross the shins. You can bring the hands in front of the hips and lift up, or place the feet down, roll over the feet, bring the hands in front and step back. Exhale. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Again, you can bring the knees down. You can jump behind the hands and sit back, or you can jump all the way through. Legs straight out in front of you. Okay, now we're gonna bring the right ankle just above the left knee. So now we're gonna do a bunch of different variations of some postures that are familiar to us, maybe not, to prepare for a full lotus. So first we'll start with this figure 4 position. Bring the hands behind you onto your fingertips and bend the left knee. Any amount. So this is kind of where you can gauge it to your flexibility. Coming here. Maybe bringing the hands from behind you. So you want the hands behind you. If the hands are behind you, use that to help you keep like a lifted heart. Yeah, the tailbone is dropping, but the heart is staying opened. And if that's difficult, then maybe you're just too deep. Maybe you're bringing the hands forward, bringing the arms over the right shin and catching the left foot. It's just kind of a fun variation. So the right hand catches the arch side and the left hand catches the outside. So the right arm is over the right shin and the left arm is sort of coming next to the bottom of the left foot. And stay there. I'm just going to change orientations in case that helps. Good. Stay here for a couple more breaths wherever you are. And you're going to, if you have the foot, this is quite deep. But if you do, you can maybe pull on the foot a little bit and lift the heart. You can lift the heart wherever you are. And then one last micro internal form adjustment. You're going to move the right knee away from you towards the floor. Not much is going to happen on the outside, but some muscles are going to kind of engage on the inside. Good. And release that. Now we're going to do one more variation here, so stay here. Just want to save us some time with the vinyasas. We're going to do a twist here. So I'm just going to face this way because it'll be easier to see. You're going to bring the left hand behind you. Inhale, reach the right arm up. And exhale, twist. So you either are just going to grab the outside of the left knee and find the twist there. Or you're going to bring the right elbow to the bottom of the left foot. And then you can press the elbow against the foot to deepen the twist. And then if you want to go deeper, which is optional, obviously, you can bring the outside of the shoulder to the bottom of the foot and then thread the arm. It's kind of weird to find the opening, but you thread the arm underneath the left thigh and then over the right leg, and then the left hand reaches back to meet the right hand. Oh, this is why people think we're like doing pretzels in yoga. Good. Wherever you are, inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, move into the twist. And again, maybe moving that knee towards the floor. Good. One more breath wherever you are. And exhale. Gently come out of that. Good. Okay, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, step or jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Do it on the left side. So bring the left ankle above the right knee. Bend the knee. So now you know where you're going. You can be with the hands behind you. And you can also play around with how bent that right knee is. Or you can bring the arms over to catch the right foot. And just sort of feel how all these different variations kind of change the relationship of what's happening in the femur bone into the hip socket. So just like the hip joint, without, making it too complex anatomically in our heads. Just kind of feel what's happening around the hip, maybe even around the glutes. Good. One more breath in this variation. So these are great alternatives to Marichasana B and Marichasana D. Especially if you have something's going on with the knee where it's not good to close the knee joint completely for whatever reason. Some injuries make it hard to close the knee joint. So these are kind of nice variations whenever you need them for your toolbox. Okay, and then releasing that. Exhale. Good. Bringing the right hand behind you. Inhale. And as you twist, remember, I kind of like to drop the tailbone and round the spine. You can either just hug the outside of the right knee or bring the elbow to the bottom of the foot. All of these are really great. And this is deep just because of where that left leg is, makes the twist a bit more complicated. Or you can slide the shoulder to the bottom. Take that funky bind. So you can kind of see how this is like, this is kind of like Marichasana D. Except the leg is not in lotus. It's like an open knee Marichasana. Good. One more breath. And exhale. Release that. Take a moment. That might have been a deep posture for you. All right, let's take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back. Chaturanga Dandasana. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. All right, I'm going to throw in a posture that we don't normally do in Ashtanga, but it'll be nice to open up the external rotation for Lotus. So pigeon, but it's going to be an active pigeon. So you're going to bring the outside edge of the right foot to the center of the mat. So already, just by being here, you're kind of like activating the outside edge. You're activating the muscles in the hip. Good. So you can stay here if this is enough. You can come down to your forearms. So it's like that. It's like a pigeon that you might be more familiar with, except everything's lifted except the outside edge of the right foot and the base of the left toes. Or you can, last option is to reach the arms forward. Good. 5 breaths wherever you are. Deep breathing. Reach back through the left heel for 3, 2. Allow yourself to sink into the hips, but keep the muscles around the hip active, which will happen automatically just by being in this position. Start to walk the hands back. Good. If you're in the extended version, and then step the right foot back. You can go into downward facing dog, or you can take a vinyasa. Because this is Ashtanga after all. Okay, left side. Now bring the outside edge of the left foot down. I should have also mentioned If this is already too much, you could also put blocks underneath the hands. Come into your forearms if you'd like. You can flex that left foot. That helps. Yeah, if that left foot were limp, this would be really difficult. Maybe you're reaching the arms out. Good. For 3, reach back through the right heel. 2, tone the lower belly. 1 more deep breath. Good. Take a vinyasa. Step back into a plank. Inhale. Exhale, lower. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And let's come into Baddha Konasana. Bring the bottom of the feet together. Good. And maybe keeping the outside edge of the feet touching, you can open the feet. Just stay in this straight spine for a couple more breaths. Allow the pelvis, the sit bones to root down as you lift the heart. Maybe drop the chin slightly. Relax the shoulders. And just feel the inner thighs releasing. And if you feel the inner thighs aren't able to release and they're really tense, then grab some blocks or pillows or blankets, whatever you have, and place them underneath the knees. So that will allow and kind of send a signal to the inner thighs that they can release because they have that support. And so once they start to release and let go, then they'll start to lengthen. But if they're tensing up all the time, then it'll be harder for them to kind of feel like it's okay to lengthen. Yeah. So feel the inner thighs. Do they feel supported enough to lengthen? Good. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, fold forward. Any amount. You don't have to go all the way. Just to that edge where you feel you're meeting the edge of flexibility in the hips, in the inner groins. So lotus position requires flexibility all around the hip, but particularly external rotation, but also that opening in the inner thighs. Good, a couple more breaths here. Maybe you're slowly getting closer and closer to the floor. 1 more breath. Inhale, slowly rise up. And now let's do B. Exhale. Now instead of folding forward with a long spine, we're going to really round and curl the spine. Starting at the pelvis, drop the tailbone, round the spine. So I kind of lean back a little bit. That helps me to really find that curling. And then exhale, folds forward, chin towards the chest as you move the forehead towards the toes. And keep drawing the lower belly in to actively curl the spine. And as you breathe in, send the breath into the backside as if you're breathing in between the shoulder blades. Keep the feet awake. One more breath here. Inhale, rolling back up to a straight spine. Exhale there. Let's take a vinyasa, cross the shins. Inhale, lift up. Exhale, jump back or step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Okay, now let's gently, yes, it's time. Let's gently work into a lotus position. And so we're going to really break this down and move into it slowly. So stay with me even if lotus is something that you can do perfectly easy. So you're going to first bend the right knee and let the knee fall out to the side, like Janu Shirshasana. And then you're going to catch Maybe it's better actually if I face you. You're going to catch with the palms facing up. Catch the lower part of the leg. So I have one hand just above the ankle and one hand catching the outside edge of the foot. And so we're going to use this grip so that we can encourage a natural external rotation of the lower leg so that it can match the external rotation of the upper leg and there won't be any opposition happening in the knee joint because the upper leg and the lower leg will both be rotating in the same direction. When they rotate in the different directions, and that's when you can kind of cause some impingement on the outside of the knee or the inside of the knee. So naturally encouraging the rotation outwardly. So that was such a weird way of saying that. Encourage the natural external rotation of the lower leg by pulling, where you have the hands pulling the leg towards you. Yeah? And as you do this, drop the tailbone so you're kind of slouching as you hold that position. And just give a couple shakes to the knee. Relax the knee. Yeah? And kind of wake up the foot so the foot's not like limp. Yeah, it's not flexed and it's not super pointed. It's something right in the middle. Good. And then you're going to keep pulling the heel towards the navel and bringing the outside edge of the foot up as high as you can towards the left hip crease. You're going to place the foot down. If it didn't make it all the way up, that's okay. And then from here, you're going to sit up tall. Yeah. And let the knee kind of fall towards the floor, but without forcing the knee down. Good. And let's just take a forward fold here since we're here. You can take the bind if you'd like. Inhale, catch the outside of the foot, or just keep the hands on the floor. And then exhale, fold. You can also bring the right hand towards the floor if you'd like, since we're not really focusing on the bind. But feel free to take the bind if you like, of course. Good. Just feeling into the hip joint. Take one more breath here. Inhale, look up. And exhale, release the bind, but stay in the lotus. Good. And now one other thing to kind of check here is make sure that you didn't leave that right hip way back there. So sometimes while you're moving into it, it's helpful to move the right hip around. But once you kind of settle in, you want to have the pelvis generally facing forward, because then you're going to really need that when you do the full lotus. Okay, now coming out of half lotus, the same way you came in. So lifting the foot, coming out of the external rotation, but keeping the knee joint closed, and then straightening the leg. Let's do it on the other side. So first, let's drop the tailbone, round the spine. This is when you can get a little bit slouchy. Bend the knee, let the knee fall out to the side. Palms facing up, catch underneath. Yeah, make the foot active, but not flexed. Yeah, and start closing the knee joint as you encourage the natural external rotation in the lower part of the leg. As you draw the heel towards the navel, relaxing any muscles that don't need to be engaged. And when you're ready, pulling the outside edge of the foot towards the right hip crease. And when you do that, you sort of turn the foot so the bottom of the foot is moving towards the ceiling, not completely, but in that direction as a continuation of this spiral through the leg. Once the foot is in place, find a straight spine. Good. Make sure you didn't leave that left hip way back there. And if you did, just pick it up and bring it forward. Good. And then here you could even start to play around with like this drawing in sensation, feeling the right inner thigh and the left inner thigh drawing in. Feel the left knee moving towards the right leg. That kind of activates the lotus. Inhale, take the bind if you'd like. And reach forward, catch the foot. Keep the hand on the floor. Exhale, fold forward for just a few breaths. I'm going to turn around again. Hopefully my changing positions isn't confusing anyone. Good. Feeling into the hip joint. One more breath. Inhale, look up, and exhale, release. Coming out of it the same way, you can come back to that slouch position, lift the foot, undo the external rotation, and straighten the legs. Good. Let's take a vinyasa across the shins. Inhale, lift. Exhale, jump back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And let's do full lotus. Same thing, we just do both at the same time. So this is a good opportunity to like repeat and, create some repetition. Drop the tailbone, bend the right knee, let the knee fall out, catch from underneath, pull it in. Take your time, go slower than me if you need to. If this is like a new pathway for you. Stay with the spine rounded and do the other side. So first I need to bend the knee. And so the only tricky thing about full lotus is that you can't close the second knee completely. So just make sure, because you need to get it over the right leg, make sure you close the knee as much as you can. And as soon as the left foot passes the right leg, then you pull it in to close the knee joint. Yeah? And then sitting up tall. And so the further across the feet are in full lotus, the less uncomfortable it's going to be on the ankles. So often what happens is we only get the foot here, which is like the heel is kind of off center. And then, so the ankle is like very twerked. There's nothing wrong with that because the hip might not be ready to bring the foot further across where the heel is more in line with the navel. So just know that and just notice where you are, that eventually you want to cross the foot as much as you can. Yeah, I mean, it takes a lot of opening in the hip, but then that'll make the full lotus more comfortable on the ankles, because I know that's a common thing, to be with the knees kind of a little bit further apart and the ankles kind of taking a lot of the twerk. Yeah, you want to get the knees in as much as you can. So wherever you are, you can give a little squeeze to the knees in, and that slides the feet to be further away from each other. Good. So, and if the full lotus is not possible, you could always do half lotus. So I'll give you a moment now to switch if you want. You can do half lotus wherever the lotus is ending up, and you just stick the foot underneath, and then you switch sides. So whether you're just doing half lotus with the foot underneath, or if you're doing full lotus, let's all switch sides, because this is always a fun experiment. Now let's bring the left leg into lotus first. And then with the right leg, either tucking it underneath or bringing it over. And just see if that messes with you, because it does with me. This feels very strange. I need to start doing it this way so it feels less strange. Good. And then maybe give a squeeze to the knees in. And if the knee is floating, that's okay. My knee is floating on this side. Good. All right. Now, we'll do it one more time at the end, so that I can just show you the arm bind if you're interested in that. Now, to take a vinyasa out of this, I'll show you one variation to start working with. You can either undo the lotus and just take a normal vinyasa, or you can rock forward, come onto the knees, and bring the hands in front. So that's kind of like, I have to like bring the chest forward and kind of get some momentum and straighten the arms. Yeah, and then from here, you're going to have to undo the lotus in the air. Or actually, you might not need to. We can try to find an in-between. But you're going to bring the hands shoulder width apart, bend the elbows, and if you want, you can make a little shelf with the elbows, drawing the elbows in towards the navel, and then just slide the knees back and undo the lotus. You can do that keeping the knees on the floor, or you can lift the lotus and I'll do that really quick. Lift the lotus and undo the lotus in the air. Inhale, upward facing dog. Just a fun little trick. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. Good. Exhale, slowly lie down. We'll do a quick closing sequence so we can try the full lotus one more time. Bend the knees, plant the feet alongside the outside edges of the hips. Inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Inhale, lift the pelvis. And you can shrug the shoulders to interlace the fingers or catch the ankles. As you keep reaching the knees forward, lift the pelvis and press the back of the head into the mat. Deep breaths for 3, 4, 5. As you exhale, roll down the spine, one vertebrae at a time. Inhale once the sacrum touches. Exhale. Again, inhale, deep breath in. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward and the knees forward. Inhale, you can go back into bridge or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Full wheel pose. And take it nice and easy. The shoulders may feel a bit tight. The back bend might feel a bit tight. Just ease into this without forcing yourself to go super deep. Good. For 3, 4, 5. Exhale. Touch the back of the head to roll down the spine. Inhale. We'll do one more. Exhale, reach the tailbone forward, the knees forward. Inhale into bridge pose or Urdhva Dhanurasana. Deep, steady breaths. Opening and lengthening the front of the body. 3. Press through the feet, press through the hands. 4. Lift through the sacrum. 5. Tuck the chin and roll down the spine. Inhale. And exhale, hug the knees in. And first we'll allow the knees to be open. Catch the shins. And as you pull the knees towards the outside of the body, reach the tailbone towards the floor. So you're flattening the lower back. One more breath here. And then bring the knees together. Hug the knees and pull them towards the chest. And this time you can allow the tailbone to lift naturally. So you don't have to make the effort to flatten the back. Just allow the pelvis to naturally lift. Squeezing in, releasing after back bending. One more breath here. We'll do one more closing posture. Matsyasana with the legs straight. So you're going to straighten the legs here. And you're going to find a moment here to just really find a straight, equal position. So keep the legs straight and see if you can draw the lower back towards the floor. So if you didn't apply any effort, then probably what happens is the lower back lifts off of the floor and you come into like a little back bend. But see if you can counteract that by drawing the lower belly in and pulling the lower back towards the floor. And then you're going to look up, lift the head towards the toes, catch the back of the thighs, and press the elbows down to lift the heart and move the pelvis in the opposite direction into the back bend, and then let the head fall back. Maybe you're lowering the head towards the floor and you can keep the elbows pressing down. For Matsyasana fish pose, you're pressing the elbows to lift the heart, lift the sacrum, open the throat. Deep, steady breaths, breathing into the front of the body. Settle in. Keep the legs strong. One more breath. And to come out, we're going to come out the same way we came in. So catch the back of the thighs, press the elbows, and look towards the feet. Rotate the pelvis so that the lower back touches the floor as you lower back down onto your back. Good. From here, you can do Chakrasana, backward roll, or hug the knees and rock up to seated, and we'll take a vinyasa. Inhale, lift up, exhale, lower down. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And let's try that full lotus one more time for our final postures. You can choose to either do the right leg first or the left leg first. Maybe the one that you're not as familiar with. Remember, you always have the option to do half lotus with the other foot tucked in. And if the foot isn't going all the way into lotus, you can do the figure 4 and tuck the other foot underneath. Take your time, moving mindfully, protecting the knee joints. And now, if you want to try to go for the bind, the leg that's in lotus first, so like the bottom leg in lotus, the leg that you brought into lotus first, that arm is going to reach over and bind first. Yeah? And what you can do is, this bind is very difficult for me. So what I do sometimes is I kind of do a little twist first. So I'm bringing the left arm around first, and my left leg is in lotus first. And so I use my opposite hand to kind of press against the knee and move into a little bit of a twist. And that just makes the foot closer. Yeah? And then when I let go of the twist, it kind of deepens the stretch in the shoulder. So that when I do the other side, I kind of turn a little bit towards the right knee. The right arm is going to bind now. So I look over towards the right knee and I lean forward a little bit to bind the other foot. And then when I go back and bring the shoulders over the hips, sometimes I lose it. But then when you fold forward, it makes the feet get a little bit closer. So inhale and exhale. Fold forward, and maybe you'll have another chance to reach the foot. Good. If not, you can just grab onto opposite forearms. Yeah. But if you are going for the bind, and you think about bringing the elbows towards each other, like if they were going to cross. Good. So you're folding, you're bringing the forehead to the floor, or the chin to the floor, or down towards the block. Good. We'll take about 5 more breaths here. Drawing the attention inwards. Fully exhaling at the bottom of the exhale. Rise up. Release the arms as you inhale. Bringing the wrist towards the knees. If you need to switch the lotus, go ahead and do that. And you're staying with the Ujjayi breath all the way through the inhale and all the way through the exhale, keeping the tone in the vocal cords for Ujjayi. As you stay connected to the earth through the pelvis and the legs, relaxing the shoulders. Deep breath in and full breath out. Staying at your own pace, so finding your natural full expansion and your natural full contraction. So in the same way we find our edge in asana with the body, we find our edge with the breath. Sort of following its natural intelligence. So that just simply means not forcing it according to some idea we have about how long or how deep the breath should be. But feeling it as it is in this moment, as you follow it all the way through the inhale, the space between, and all the way through the exhale and the space between. Just take a couple more rounds here. And at the bottom of the exhale, you can release that. For one final effort, Uplutihi. You can stay in lotus or you can undo the lotus and cross the shins. Bring the hands in front of the hips, pitch the shoulders forward, and lift the hips up. 1, 2, 3. Keep pressing through the shoulders. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And jump back. If you want to try that lotus jump back again, here's your chance. Roll over, hands in front, bend the elbows, and lift the lotus, or you can slide the knees, undo the lotus. Good. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, jump through to seated. And exhale, let's lie down for Shavasana, final resting pose. Good. So whatever you need to do to get comfortable, if you need to grab a blanket, you need to turn off the lights, to completely relax and let go. The palms face up. Allow the legs to roll open. You can separate the feet as much as is comfortable. Releasing behind the eyes. Releasing the throat. Releasing technique. Releasing judgment, assessment. Feeling the support of the earth. Feel free to stay here longer if you like. If you're ready, you can gently start to wake up the body, move the fingers, the toes, and the wrists and the feet. Reaching the arms over your head for a deep breath in. And exhale, bend the knees, plant the feet. Falling over to either side. You can use that bottom arm as a pillow. And when you're ready, taking your time, coming into a seated position. We'll take a final moment here. You can close the eyes if you'd like, or just have the eyes half open, gazing somewhere on the floor. Settling into this quiet space, feeling the residue. Allowing sensation to rise and fall. We'll close the space with the closing mantra. So you can join me or just listen. Swasti prajabhyaha paripalayantan nyayena margena mahim mahishaha go brahmanebhyaha shubhamastu nityam lokha samasta sukhino bhavantu. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Thank you, everyone.